Vernomatic Productions.
Are you ready?
Live from the Metal Mayhem Studios in Rochester, New York.
We are gold. We are gold.
And heard around the world by metalheads just like you. This is Metal Mayhem ROC.
Heavy metal music.
Your weekly dose of metal music, interviews, album reviews, news, and more. Want to be part of the show? Send us a message through our website, metalmayhemroc.com, or hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Search Metal Mayhem ROC, a proud member of the Pantheon podcast team.
It's getting nice and heavy.
Now, welcome our hosts, John the Vernomatic Verno, and direct from New Jersey, Metal Walt.
Good evening, everybody. As always, new content drops on Thursdays. Tonight's episode, we're joined by Mark Tornillo, vocalist of Accept. Mark's here to promote the band's brand new album, Humanoid, drops tomorrow, April 26th. Man, it's hard to believe that Mark's been fronting Accept for the last 14 years. This is their 6th studio album together. And just like their loyal fans around the world, we're just excited that they're still performing, touring, and putting out kick-ass music. Well, he's here to talk about the concept behind Humanoid. It's wrapped around the theme of AI. You know, AI's everywhere. It's in music, it's in TV, it's in print. It's just crazy. Well, Mark's a self-labeled analog man. If he had his choice, he would take that cell phone, throw it in the river, and go back to 1979. But unfortunately, you can't. Well, not yet, at least. So he's here to discuss the album's songs. We have a chance to listen to a few of the songs. We talk about the 2024 touring plans. They're starting a Latin America tour as we speak. They're rehearsing right now. They added Joel Hoekstra to the touring band for the spring and summer gigs. Plus, we get his point of view about the challenges of getting FM and satellite radio airplay off the new music. The 2023 TT Quick reunion is addressed, and we take a walk down heavy metal memory lane, both Rochester, New York, and as always, Metal Walt has inclusive New Jersey heavy metal tales, as both Mark and Walt come from the same metal fraternity. So that's what's coming up tonight. If you missed some last episodes, last week we had Martin Popoff, the rock author, on. We did our deep dive top 20 Rush deep cuts. That's a good one. A couple weeks before that, Don Jameson, the heavy metal comedian. And we started the month off with our in-house fun April Fool's Day episode where we share some of our non-metal listening habits. It's all good stuff. So get up to our website, metalmayhemroc.com. Sign up for the newsletter. That will get you notifications on all our product. And wherever you're listening to this, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, wherever, subscribe to the pod and leave us a review. All right, well, let's get into tonight's episode. Mark Tornillo, vocalist of Accept. He's here to discuss the new album, Humanoid. For my co-host, Metal Walt, I'm the Vernomatic, and this is Metal Mayhem ROC. Well, here we are. We're approaching end of April, early May, the spring of 2024, and Accept's coming around with a brand new one. The album Humanoid's coming out. We've had a chance to listen to it. Now we got the vocalist Mark Tornillo here to dissect it all. Mark, welcome to Metal Mayhem ROC.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
I'd like to introduce you to my co-host. Goes by the name Metal Walt, and he's down in New Jersey, your neck of the woods.
Uh-huh.
What's up, Mark? So you and I have something in common with you. Before the pandemic, we were working out at the same gym together. I was at the Retro Fitness in Raritan.
No kidding.
And I remember walking into you one day, and I was like, is that Mark over there? And I remember we shook hands real quick, and then the pandemic came, and then they closed the offices, and that's history. But we definitely got our Jersey connections there.
This is true.
So I'm curious, Mark. I know, like, there was always like the stories when you first started Accept, back in Accept, that you were a union electrician. Are you still doing that career? And how do you juggle like an electrician technical trade with being in a band? How does that work?
Well, I juggled it for a lot of years. I actually did finally retire in 2003. I mean, 2023 last year. But yeah, it was rough for a while. But you know what? I was of the mindset that I wasn't going to quit my day job a second time. didn't work out so well the first time. So, and I had a lot of years invested in it, and I wanted my benefits and my pensions. Whenever I was home, I would go to work. You could do it if you're not working for, we call them shop rockets. If you're not a shop rocket, if you're haul trash like me, you could do it because you just signed a book and go out to work when you wanted to.
Got it. Well, congratulations on retiring on that part of your career. And hopefully this gives you 100% to work on the cooler part of your career. So, hey, Mark, this is now your 6th studio album fronting the band. And John and I were talking about it. It's pretty big accomplishment in this kind of modern day of metal because it's only been, about 15 years to put 6 studio albums out, tour the globe all over and, keep doing it and doing it again. But you guys have such like an amazing fan base out of the States. And of course, being in the tri-state area and John being up in, New York, we feel like there's a local connection. But the truth of it is probably the bigger connection is outside the country. So, even the website, amazing on the website where you have these fan pages and all the photos of the meet and greets with the bands and even like this collector's page. So one of the first songs on the new album I think of when I think of your global fan base is the song Unbreakable, right? Because it's about that connection between the band and the fans and you guys going around the globe. So just talk a little bit about your fan base.
Our fans are incredible. I mean, it boggles my mind constantly how many people out there are loyal Accept fans. We're going to go see our Latin American friends in about 2 weeks. And that fan base down there is just insane. They're probably the most rabid people on the planet for metal. Watch AC/DC live at River Plate. You'll see it. They're fanatics for metal. So I'm looking forward to doing that. We're going to be in Europe all summer at the festivals, and those fans are just insane as well, man. I mean, I'm really blessed to have such a great, big and wonderful fan base. And that song is, it's an anthem. Wound up rewriting that a couple of times, but it came out the way we wanted it. So I think it kind of reminds me of Pandemic, the same kind of feel and the same kind of, we're talking about the fans. I mean, the Pandemic was the same way. It's in your blood. You don't have metal. Metal's got you.
Yeah, we always discuss that,
right.
Two guys walking on the street, you see someone with a Motorhead shirt and, you just give a nod and you're instantly, bonded by that.
Yep.
Let's talk about the new one. You and Wolf writing it. Does any of this stuff carry over from Too Mean to Die, or is it all fresh, or is it a combination of the both?
No, it was all fresh. We did have some leftovers from Too Mean to Die, but we didn't even mess with them. We just went right for new stuff. So, yeah, it felt like a continuation of Too Mean to Die to me. But how
did you? Hey, Mark, how did you come up with the concept? Like, Humanoid, you watch the video and everything, you see the cover of the album and you're like, okay, now I got to kind of absorb what it means. But, I think overall, a lot of the songs address that kind of push and pull of the human nature of people in the flesh and then technology. And now we got this artificial intelligence thing coming. And I liked it in the press notes that the band refers to you as Analog Man. And I think that's pretty cool because I have a cassette deck still with all my bootleg tapes and a CD player. And my kids sometimes are like, hey, what's that thing up there, Dad? You got those little cassettes and what do you do with those?
Yep. I've said it. I've said it many times. I'd take my cell phone, throw it in the river and go back to the 70s and stay there. I'm not a big fan of all this technology and AI. God only knows where that's going to go. But that was the whole humanoid concept was something that Wolf came up with, and he liked the title and he wrote the music around it, and then I had to come up with an idea to write the song about it. So, but I think he came out all right. But I don't think AI is the bad guy here. Humanity's the bad guy. What's humanity going to do with AI? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, and it's changing daily, and there's aspects of AI we use in production that's fabulous. It's like nice, but well, you know as well as I do. Well, moving into this album, maybe this is a nice segue. The song "Ravages of Time." It's a nice complimentary to "Nobody Gets Out Alive." You know, every time I hear that song, it slows things down, and you know, you go back and reflect. Expand on "Ravages of Time."
Well, it's about growing older and trying to do it gracefully, I guess. But we're all in the same boat. You can try as hard as you like, but you look in the mirror and the wrinkles keep getting a little more obvious, and the hair gets grayer, and there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, no, you can. And as a 56-year-old white guy, I have kids in the 20s, early 30s, and we run into some of my old friends, and they'll be like, "Dad, how come that guy's the same age as you and he looks like he's 15 years older?" I'm like, well, probably because, I got off the crazy train back 20 years ago, and
there you go.
He has a lifetime pass on there. So yeah, "Ravages of Time." That's a great song.
I'm glad you like it. I'm looking forward to doing that one live. I think it's going to be cool.
That's going to be cool. I call that one like, it's like, I don't know how it's just a good complimentary track. But the song before it, "Nobody Gets Out Alive," that's a cool one too. And I think it's about that theme of, appreciating life and do what you need to do every day, because you never know when your time's coming. I like the line in the song, or maybe it's the other song where it says, "Go out for that car ride, go out for that drive." Like almost like just do it. Don't second guess it. But that one's cool because it's very catchy. Could see that one on WDHA, man. Got to call Terry Carr and have her up there play that on DHA.
Yeah, please do. That's one of the ones I had just written the lyrics for and sent it to Wolf, and he wrote the song.
So you guys are doing this writing, it's all remote?
It's so much easier than, having to, we'll record in the same room and sometimes we write together, but, it's just so much more convenient to have, this way you can write all the time,
So you do subscribe to some kind of current stuff versus the old school, something like that you'll embrace.
Yeah. Email helps,
What about the song "Frankenstein"? It's sort of like a fun song. I think it's a third or fourth song on the album. Where does sequencing come into play on the Humanoid album? And talk about the Frankenstein song.
Yeah, that's usually Andy's job. Andy will sit down and put that together, and then we'll approve it or move things around. But that's normally Andy Sneap's job.
When does this guy sleep? Every new album that's coming out. I mean, Saxon, Priest, you guys.
I know. When we finished recording the album, he went home to mix it. But he was also he had to mix the Saxon album. He had just got done with the Priest album. Plus, he had to go rehearse with Priest. So it was like, I don't know how he does it, man. The guy's he's busy as hell.
In these bands, yourself, Saxon, yeah, you guys had albums 2.5 years ago.
Yep.
So it's not like you haven't done anything.
No.
Props to Andy. It's a great sounding production, sequencing. It's right up there.
Well, he's also going to be going on the road for the next year, so he'll probably cram all these albums in and say, because unless he's got maybe he cloned himself, Mark, using AI, and he's got another version of Andy Sneap.
Maybe. Who knows?
It's funny, there was a recent interview on Blabbermouth that Wolf commented. Somebody asked him, do you ever get tempted to write lyrics using AI? And I could see that's where that temptation comes in, but you got to hold your ground, because if you're taking the easy way out, and I've seen this recently in my personal life where I've had some young, let's say millennial age kids in my group of family where they're like, hey, well, you know what? Just why are you writing it out this old way? You need to just put it through ChatGPT. It'll do the work for you. And I'm like, I'm not uncomfortable with that. It's not good. It's not me. It's not my words, my thoughts.
Exactly. I mean, it frightens me, and it'll write music for you too now. So I mean, pretty soon we'll be obsolete. What the hell you need us for? Go out and play the computer stuff live for them. Then they'll have robots going out and putting on the shows. I don't know where it's going. That's what I'm saying.
But that's the humanoid concept, right? And I mean, you look at the video, you guys are playing live, then maybe 3/4 through the video, you start becoming robots. You put these cool blue neon glasses on. So talk about that track in the video. That looked like a fun one to do.
The video was a lot of fun to do. That's the same. We shot that in Poland. We actually shot that and the Reckoning at the same time, not the same day, but on the same trip. That's the same company that did the Undertaker video on Too Mean to Die. Really, really talented people. And they literally put that whole humanoid, that's what you see us performing in front of is just like was a giant screen with that stuff playing on it. And it's like really, really friggin' cool.
What is I'm just curious, before we get off of Humanoid, when you go onto the website, it mentions there's a humanoid experience and it's interactive on the website. Explain what that is.
I'm not exactly sure what it is. I know you can go on there and you can become the robot. There's like some kind of software where you become the robot and you can reprogram the robot to do different things. I'm not sure. I haven't done it, so I don't know.
Okay. Now, whose idea is that? Is Wolf, is he up on this kind of stuff? Or
that might be. Okay. It might have been the management, record company. I don't know who makes these decisions. Analog man.
That's right. You just show up and write and sing and perform.
I just show up.
That's it.
Sing and drink beer.
Well, there's certainly nothing wrong with showing up and drinking beer. Sounds good to me. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Mark's going to tell us about what they're playing on tour, where they're playing, and we're going to take a walk down heavy metal memory lane for both Rochester, New York, and New Jersey. And just remember, if you like what we're doing here, do us a favor. Get up to the website, metalmayhemroc.com, sign up for the newsletter, join our community, and better yet, get up to Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you listen to the pod. Leave us a review. We really, really appreciate that. We'll be right back.
Metal Mayhem ROC.
I'm Metalhead.
Metal Mayhem ROC is the home for metal from the very beginnings.
This is James DeBerre from Hellstar. You're listening to Burn-O-Matic.
Dave Overkill from the Cleveland band Destructor. Hey, Dave, how are you?
I'm doing great.
To longtime headliners.
Hey, this is Red Beach from Whitesnake.
Hey, this is Vinny Appice from Dio, Black Sabbath, and Last in Line.
To music of today.
Hi, this is Joel Hoekstra from Enforcer.
Hi, this is Braun from Mastodon.
You're listening to Metal Mayhem ROC.
With John the Vernomatic Burner.
Plus, we talk with producers and authors to give you behind-the-scenes info.
Hi, this is William Irwin, author of The Meaning of Metallica, Ride the Lyrics.
Greg Renoff, the author of the book Van Halen Rising and the Ted Templeman book, A Platinum Producer's Life in Music.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Metal Mayhem ROC, a proud member of the Pantheon podcast team, giving you more to listen for. Join our community, and always remember to keep it heavy.
Last comment on the album that I like is Straight Up Jack. That just sounded like a fun song to conceive and sing. And is that going to find itself in the set list?
I hope so.
Is the set list fluid? Are you able to rehearse and play any of these at any given time?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Which ones we're going to do live off the new album, it remains to be seen. I know we're going to do Humanoid. We've already done that. We did it on the Monsters of Rock cruise.
Mm-hmm.
The Reckoning we'll definitely be doing. As far as what other ones, remains to be seen. I'm leaving for Nashville next Wednesday to rehearse. So we shall see.
I'm up here in Rochester, New York, and I had a chance to see you with your old band, TT Quick, back in '86 at Artstock's Playpen North.
I remember.
Up here. And yeah, it was Medal of Honor tour. You were James Rivera and Hellstar, and it was like, approaching 40 years on that. But I know, tell me about it. But this past November, unfortunately, the band got back together because of the passing of the original drummer, Eric Farrow. Quickly just talk about that. How cool was it getting back with your brothers? Was it like putting on an old glove? Was it just like, this is fun to revisit for a weekend? Because I think it was at Thanksgiving time. Expand on the TT Quick reunion and some of the fun things with the band.
Yeah, it was right before Thanksgiving. Actually, it was about a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving we did it. It was great. It was a wonderful night. I mean, I wanted it to be sort of a memorial, more of a memorial than a concert, So we keep it down to a dull roar. Everybody was like, "Oh, you should do it here. You should do it there," and they make this big thing. I was like, I don't want it to be this big thing. I want it to be intimate. So we wound up doing it at an Elks Club that held about 300 people, and put the tickets up online. They were gone overnight, and it was just a really wonderful night. I mean, it was like going to a wake with a rock show. Well, you know, I mean, poor guy really didn't have a funeral, so we gave him one.
That's awesome. Before Walt takes over and gets into some of the Jersey memories, when I started asking the question, what do you recall about Rochester? Because Accept hasn't been back here in a while, and even though it was 40 years ago. When I mentioned the show, you had a big smile on your face. Do you recall anything with it?
Yeah, I mean, we recorded in Rochester also. We actually started the Medal of Honor sessions in Rochester. At
Music America?
Yeah. And
yeah.
One thing I do remember was David and I went to see the Tall Ships. The Tall Ships were at the harbor. That was it is in Rochester, right? Was it Rochester?
Well, Music America's in Rochester.
Yeah.
How about the Tall Ships? We have Lake Ontario, a beachfront area.
Yeah. They were on Lake Ontario. That was in 1985. The Tall Ships had come in. And he and I went down we hitchhiked actually, went down to see the freaking Tall Ships. It was amazing.
Well, you were down there. Penny Arcade was down there.
Yeah.
Yep. Rock Club. And yeah, that was our beachfront. A lot of memorable shows, and, you know, we have our little niche. But yeah, I remember going to that show, seeing you guys. It was 85, 18. 80, it was 86. It was October 86. I was
Medal of Honor came out
first
in
year.
86.
Yeah,
in April.
Yeah, thanks for the gig back then, man. It was awesome. Fucking awesome.
Hey, Mark, just touching on the new music still before we move on to some of the Jersey roots too. I had an interesting experience happen. It was 2 Saturdays ago, and I was taking my kid to hockey practice on a Saturday morning. It was before 8:00 in the morning, and I'm flipping to XM. And I usually go between Boneyard, Liquid Metal, and Hair Nation. And on Hair Nation, I shit you not, 7:45 in the morning, The Reckoning came on. It just shows you that they do play newer material, but it's at weird times. And I don't know why it was played there. It wasn't Jim Florentine's show or anything, but like, in your impression, how hard is it to try to get new music heard, like in 2023, 2024? I mean, you guys put 6 albums out, right?
It's extremely hard, and I don't understand what the reasoning is. I mean, Eddie Trunk talks about this all the time too. So, you know, you'll have classic bands, classic metal bands that do new material. Look at like Judas Priest. They won't play the new Priest stuff on Sirius XM. They'll play another thing coming. They won't play our new stuff. They'll play Balls. And I don't understand why. However, if you go over to liquid metal and there's new metal bands, they'll play all their shit.
No, you're right. It's frustrating as someone that works in broadcasting and has a passion for this. Myself, I'll listen to it and they'll tease, hey, Accept with a brand new one coming out, blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's go back to, Metal Heart. It's like, you just got done teasing the new one. How about, I don't know. I guess that's a question for the upstairs at Sirius, because I don't understand.
It boggles my mind. I really don't understand it. So, but what do I know?
It's true, though. It's like that used to be the novel form to try to hear genres of music if you go back 20 years ago. And we all subscribed to it because, like, oh, wait, I can have a metal channel and then an 80s rock channel and a heavy channel. But now it's so diluted, it's just like hearing FM radio again. You don't hear anything.
They play the same shit over and over.
Yeah, absolutely. But just, hey, if you happen to be up at 7 on a Saturday morning, you might catch yourself.
Right. I'm going to have to dial in.
But hey, Mark, my other favorite track on the new album is Man Up. So I just wanted to say a quick call out to that before we move on. But thinking about like the Jersey fraternity, it's such a big fraternity, and I'm a little bit probably younger than you. I'm 53, but I feel like I caught it on the tail end of the Old Bridge Metal Militia. But now, being involved in Metal Mayhem ROC, I go to a lot of shows that you guys are at and all the Iraq's at. And it's not uncommon to see Bobby Blitz and Don Jameson and Alan Tecchio and Jack Frost and Frank White. These guys are all there all the time. So, like, talk about let's say the fraternity of Jersey metal to you.
It is basically a fraternity. We actually just did a show last month, a benefit show for muscular dystrophy, and Blitz was there. Blitz and I sang the whole night pretty much, but all the Jersey guys are out there. Danny Lorenzo, freaking Mark Weiss was there. It's just crazy, but we all get along, and it is one big metal fraternity. It's kind of crazy. There's going to be a documentary called The Jersey Sound. Have you guys heard anything about that?
I have not.
It's going to be on Amazon. It was going to be like a 10-part documentary. I think they made it down to a movie. It was supposed to just be about the club scene, metal scene in New Jersey, but the guy like deep dove and went back to the 20s all the way to present day. Every genre of music, anyone who was ever from New Jersey, from Sinatra to the Misfits to you name it. All interviews. TT Quick's in it. Guy named Fulvio Cesari. He's an actor, actually. If you look on Amazon, there's another doc. It's a wrestling documentary. It's called 350 Days, I think it's called. He did that one as well. You can see what his work's like. I mean, it should be quite amazing. I'm looking forward to it coming.
Sounds like you should be coming from The Sopranos. You're saying he's an actor.
Right?
Fulvio. So.
Well, Mark, I got to tell you, I was going to say, circling back to the TT Quick, I don't know if you remember a music store in Belleville, New Jersey called Mickey's Music, but I bought my first TT Quick cassette there. And I think it was 1989, Sloppy Seconds.
Nice. No, I'm not familiar with the music store, but.
No, it's long gone, of course, but it was like in my neck of the woods up in Hudson and that area, Hudson County and area. That's where you went to get your new music. So,
yep.
So, hey, Mark, before you guys hit the road, we wanted to comment on the band, but it looks like you're also taking out Joel Hoekstra in the touring band this time around. How did that whole thing go down?
Yeah, well, Phil's got a previous engagement, we'll say.
Okay.
So he was not going to be available for spring and summer, and we still want to keep playing, obviously. So we decided to bring on another guitar player, and Wolf calls me up and he goes, you know this guy, Joel Hoekstra? I go, yeah. He goes, what do you think? I go, I think we should get him if he's willing to do it. And he was, he literally told Wolf I'd be honored. So I was like, wow, holy shit. I'm really looking forward to working with him. Guy's a monster. saw him actually out Oxygen Rock Cruise. So
it's sort of fun right now that the rock and metal landscape sort of turned into like fantasy football, because as the bands get older, everyone's got to fill in. Our boy Jason McMaster's filled in on, Armored Saint and you guys, and
saved my ass.
Yeah, and Junior's filling in for Dee over an Overkill, and it's sort of fun. It's just like, all right, because everyone's friends. And going back to the age, you guys, no one has time to fight. We had a chance to talk with Kirk Hammett in the fall, and Kirk was saying, listen, we're all older. We're all just friends. We all survived. We survived this.
Yes.
And here you are. And
that's what it's like. I mean, when we play festivals, and you get to see everybody you're hanging out, we play a lot of festivals, and we'll wind up being there with Exodus or Testament. And, and it is, we're all like, damn, we got another year. This is,
How much do you, on a personal level, just recall all of the shenanigans from the last 40 years, or it's part of your DNA, you remember?
It's amazing any of us are alive, I'll tell you that.
Were you a big partier during the day, or?
I did my share of partying. I never got too crazy, but, in the TT quit, we did a lot of drinking, that's for sure.
If you keep it at beers and buds, you're all right. It's once you veer off and get into the woods that cause the problem. So,
yes, this is true. So we all survived that, luckily. And like as I said, it's amazing we're all here.
Listen, where can people keep in touch with Accept and everything? Mark Tornillo, anything? What are the handles?
Acceptworldwide.com is our main website. You can follow me on Instagram at mark.tornillo, and that'll take you anywhere you got to go. So you can also follow Accept on Instagram as well, Accept Worldwide. So
the new album Humanoid, when's that drop?
April 26th.
26th. And of course that's everywhere, streaming, but get out and buy it. Better than that, pre-order it. Get some pre-orders going for the band. And
these streams are nice, but owning is better.
That's right. The hard copy, the physical copy with the booklet.
And it's definitely better for the bands.
So, Mark, I have to ask the question. I mean, you guys are always busy in South America and Europe. Do we see U.S. dates at some point later in the year?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm really not at liberty to say, but there is a window after the summer festivals before our headline tour in Europe. So there's like a 6 to 8 week window in there. And from what I understand, they're putting something together. So,
well, Mark, best of luck with the album. It's a killer one. Good luck with the tour. Hope to see you, meet in person. One of these Jersey gigs, New York gigs, and we'll talk to you down the line.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, Mark. And listeners, remember, do us a favor, get up to the metalmayhemroc.com website, sign up for our newsletter, join our community, get info on everything we got going on here. For our guest, Mark Tornillo of Accept, Metal Walt, I'm the Vernomatic. This is Metal Mayhem ROC.
Metal for life.
Thank you for listening to Metal Mayhem ROC. Check out our website at metalmayhemroc.com for information on podcasts, archives, links to all our live radio shows, and all sorts of info. Please like, follow, and share with everyone, even your non-metal friends. And always remember to keep it heavy.